And getting my summer stuff ready and trying to continue to be healthy. But then I got to keep dealing with this idiot and this foolishness. Do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in there. Don't go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. My mother just died last year, okay? And you bringing strangers all in here, Jalen Rose, to walk to your mother's house that you love so much, that you trying to sell her house a year after she passed while your sister's still living here in it. And you had the audacity to call me a squatter when I took care of our mother and our grandmother in this house. You got a lot of nerve, Jalen Rose. You got a lot of nerve. And I hope the whole world see how much nerve you got now and how fake and phony you been talking about how much love you got to your mother and your family. Mighty funny. The man with the mic ain't got nothing to say today. Ain't that strange? Ain't that strange? How you gonna sell a house somebody live in and been living in for the last 3 years and not communicate? This what this guy is on.
Wow. All right, family. So that, of course, is Jalen Rose's sister. Jalen is being just ran through in the media right now. They're saying that he's selfish, inconsiderate, misogynistic, narcissist, all this type of stuff. I hear her, and it's very moving what she's saying emotionally. It's very moving. Almost makes you want to agree with her. She just lost her mother just a year ago. I can only imagine what she's going through mentally. I lost my mother. That is not easy. But, you know, Jalen Rose also lost his mother. You understand? Everybody's hearing this and they're hearing it as Jalen is wrong. But I really want to kind of talk about some of these things that she's saying, okay, family? This is not to deny that she's going through something traumatic right now, that she has to leave a place that has sentimental value, that she is probably taking it hard that her brother is having her leave this property, that he's selling this home that he bought for his mother. I can imagine that it definitely is weighing on her. You understand? But we got to deal with the facts of it, okay? The fact is, it is his property. And that's what's on paper. That's the facts. Now, the emotional things that she is doing can't really take away from the facts. Now, that's going to make us, of course, want to, you know, emotionally terrorize Jalen Rose by saying all these shameful things to him. You know, you're wrong, you're this, you're that. But truthfully, family, he is not wrong. That is his property, okay? Now, I want to say this real quick before I even hit play, okay? I believe in tribe, 100%. I believe that we should be working together and unified. And this would ensure that we have a better future, a more stable future. We'd be more wealthier in the future if we were to stick together, spend together, work together. Working together is success. Often whenever our family and stuff makes it big, whether that be like a ball player, just say they come into a lot of money via their career, we often look for them to do things for the family. And I actually believe that is tribal. But I also believe it shouldn't be family members just standing there with their hands out, that it should be working with them, you understand, to elevate the whole family. So 100 years from now, you can see the results from that, the residuals from that. You understand? We cannot be off on an island by ourselves and expect to really be able to manifest a healthy community, right? But anyway, I'm gonna play this video and I am going to break it down. Let's go.
And getting my summer stuff ready and trying to continue to be healthy. But then I got to keep dealing with this idiot.
Number one, she's already insulting him, calling him an idiot. Yes, he's going to sell the home. No, she does not like it. But that does not give her an excuse to go live and publicly call him names like that. You understand? This is her brother, after all. Show a little respect, right? Show a little dignity. Because you have a disagreement doesn't mean it's the time now to go online and terrorize each other with accusations, trying to ruin their reputation, trying to ruin how people see them. You understand? If you're going to have to move, that may just be the verdict, but why try and destroy him in the process? That is not good. Even if she's emotional, that's not the way to handle it. None of these people on Facebook and social media can change Jalen's mind. They can't do anything about it. That's his house, family. Why do we keep looking to go to social media with our problems? Let's continue.
In this foolishness, do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in there. Don't go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. My mother just died last year, okay? And you bringing strangers all in here, Jalen Rose, to walk to your mother's house that you love so much.
Absolutely, he loves his mother. Why try and even come for him that way? His mother is passed on. She died last year. You just said that. He can sell the house because he bought it for her. Now, he purchased a home for his grandmother and his mother. He took care of them, provided for them, everything they needed until they passed on. You don't think that's hurting him that he lost his grandmother and his mother? Okay, he's selling the house. They're no longer here. It served its purpose. What do you mean that he claims to love his mother? Again, emotional terrorizing. He owns the property. It's his deed. He paid the money for the home. He provided for his mother and grandmother while they were still here. And now she's trying to use words like love. And you understand what I'm saying? Let's go.
That you trying to sell her house a year after she passed while your sister's still living here in it. And you had the audacity to call me a squatter when I took care of our mother and our grandmother in this house. You got a lot of...
Okay. She took care of her mother and grandmother in that house. Thank you so much for taking care of your mother and grandmother. But that is your mother and your grandmother. It's his mother and his grandmother. He bought them a house. He took care of them while they were alive. And you did too. Both of you guys deserve kudos for that. But he doesn't owe you for that. Just like you don't owe him for taking care of your mother and grandmother. And for you to say that only a year after he's selling the house, as if the time frame has to be 4 or 5 years or something. And while his sister's living here, well, why is his sister living there? She stayed there to take care of his grandmother and mother. So why is she still living there? Now, couldn't she compensate him something for staying there if she wants to stay there? If she isn't, and even if she offered to compensate him something for it, family, if he wants to sell the house, it's his right to sell the home. It is his home. All of the emotional things that we're doing is just to shame him for his decision. It's his decision. It's his home. Let's go.
Nerve, Jalen Rose. You got a lot of nerve. And I hope the whole world see how much nerve you got now and how fake and phony you been talking about how much love you got to your mother and your family.
Well, karma is crazy how it works because she's hoping that he get exposed for being fake and phony. But man, she say she love her family, right? Look at how she's on here trying to expose her brother, trying to humiliate him after he has paid and taken care of her mother who's passed on, her grandmother who was passed on. She's going to try to paint this picture like he is not a good man. Why? Because he's selling his home. So after all of that, he just goes instantly to being a bad man because he's selling the home. So buy your mother a home, buy your grandmother a home, take care of them while they're alive. But when if they die, if you decide to sell it, you're a bad guy.
Mighty funny. The man with the mic ain't got nothing to say today. Ain't that strange? Ain't that strange? How you gonna sell a house somebody live in and been living in for the last 3 years and not communicate?
I can answer that question because it's his. He purchased the home. He has the deed. All those things are in his name because it's his home. Early in the video, she said, it's my mother's house. It's his house that he bought for his mother. The mother's passed on, ma'am. That makes it his home. Do you understand? So that's what gives him the audacity or the right to do that. How you gonna do that? Because he has the right to. He wouldn't be able to do that if he didn't have the rights, ma'am. Let's continue.
This what this guy is on. Ooh.
Well, she paused it and said, well, she did say earlier that he was refusing to speak. The guy with the microphone don't got nothing to say. I will say very smart move. He did not engage, okay? He just went on ahead and said, look, regardless of what she says, you know what I mean? Regardless of what she says, sound like her tires is flat. Regardless of what she says, you know, I'm going to sell the home regardless, so she can sit here and go live and say whatever. I don't need to argue back with her. The home will be sold all the same. So she is squatting. She is not paying anything. She's not trying to help me with it. Even if she were trying to, that does not dictate whether or not he still has to let her stay in the home or whatever. He can make the decision that he needs to make for whatever reason he needs to make it, you know. Wise decision, I would say, on not engaging with her. Anything that he say right then would have just been more reason to shame him. So it's good he just allowed her to talk, allowed her to do whatever she was going to do, and just you know, that's the smart move. You understand? So I think that was just her trying to get him to argue. Look at him. He don't want to say nothing now because what? He's on camera? Man, he's still going to do what he's going to do. When you have disagreements with family and stuff like that, when you have disagreements, period, family, try and understand that someone, if it's their decision, you can't really do much arguing about it. And most certainly don't try and punish them for it. That is childish. If it is theirs, there's not much you can really do. I just did a talk on a video where a guy was wanting to stay. He lost his place. His wife and his children lost their place. And the grandmother was going to let his wife stay with her, but not him. The wife and the kids, but not him. And he was just sitting there trying his best to argue his way in the house. Man, leave and go figure it out. When it belongs to somebody else, family, it's nothing you can do about that. Do y'all get mad at God whenever God say no? Whenever y'all don't get what y'all want from God? Because ultimately it's their decision, right? Treat people the same way. It belongs to them. They are the God of that. Nothing else you can say. I would say for Jalen Rose, it really sucks that your sister put you through that. But I can almost guarantee this isn't the first time she's disrespected him. So I'm sure he's kind of used to it. But I know it sucks that his fans and people who are inspired by him, they can be so easily turned with something like that. And it sucks. And I really hope the family can restore each other and can restore their relationship by any means necessary. Hopefully they can do that. But family, this sucks. Seeing you already lost your grandmother and your mother, and now you have this relationship that seems to be hanging by a thread with your sister. And it seems like the only way to be able to maintain this relationship is to keep giving to her. Keep on allowing yourself to be used by her, or she'll turn into your enemy. You understand? That's a tough position to be in, man. And a lot of wealthy people, a lot of athletes, a lot of people who have made something of themselves have to go through this behind family. They can't seem to love you like they can love their other family members who don't have the money. It's like they only see you with that dollar sign attached to you. If you don't pay for their vacations, if you don't pay for their cars, if you don't pay for their houses, they're upset at you. But they're not upset with your siblings who can't do those things. They never even look at your siblings like your siblings are doing them wrong when they don't pay for their vacation. But man, if you say no, as a person who has the money, who has made something of themselves, if you tell your family no, they act like you're doing something wrong to them. Like you done changed, you done switched up, you think you better than them now. It's your money, but you don't have a right to say no. And so now you have to give them your stuff, allow them to sink their teeth into you so you can have a loving relationship, one that feels pure. I've seen athletes go through this behind their own mama, y'all. Can you imagine it, man? Just you love your mother, she raised you. You believe that it's a pure love, nothing can change it. But as soon as you become something, she starts penalizing you when you finally say no. They done bought her a house, boat, everything. As soon as you say no, though, oh my goodness, your own mama mad at you. So if you want your mama to truly love you, man, you just gotta let her sink her teeth in you. Same things, a lot of people's fathers, a lot of people's just family members in general, just treat them like crap if they're not giving them handouts. Like they're not they're not valuable anymore as a person or as a family member. You only worth about as much as you can spend on us. It's very scary, family. We think that these people with the money have it all, but they go through a lot of stuff, family. They don't get to have the family. Like you make it to become something of yourself, and now you don't get to have the family and the love that everybody else get. Shit's sad, man. I feel sorry for those type of people, man, like, 'cause they don't need to go through that. But if you rise up and become something, you're gonna see that too. And just know, as you go up, it's like a peak, like a mountain. The higher you go up, many people just ain't gonna be able to go with you. That's all, family.